Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Surprise Thursday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Jada Toys' Scooby-Doo Shaggy Rogers. Zoinks! Let's get into it! Jinkies, let's start things off by looking at the packaging for any clues to help us solve a mystery. And there I go bumping the camera because it's a Digital Caveman Presents review. And there we have the Scooby-Doo logo and some Scooby spooky stuff going on in the background. A little bit of a window right there to let light in from the top. Then we've got a nice window here, nice big window on the front to showcase most of the figure and accessories. And this foggy bits are actually on the window, so that's cool. And then here we have the Scooby-Doo logo again, Shaggy Rogers. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole. Attention, don't stick things in your any language pie hole, especially your Canadian pie hole. And here we have the WB logo. On the bottom, Jada, and there's their information, small fine, legalese, print, and all that good stuff. Don't give it to babies, a barcode. I'm sure it says made in China on here somewhere, but I'm not seeing it right off. And it's not suitable for children under 36 months. It's not suitable for children anyway. Scooby-Doo, and there's some artwork of Shaggy in the spookiness, sneaking around, trying to not get got by a monster. And then here it is again. Same picture of Shaggy, but I think the background is different on here. It says Scooby-Doo at the top. Then on the back here it says Scooby-Doo and some nice little spooky stuff on here and some bats and a moon behind him and some fogginess there. It says Shaggy Rogers. Here is, I'm guessing, a practical photography shot of the figure, but it could be a digital render. I'm not 100% sure. And then here is some artwork of all the gang, Scoob, Shag, Fred, Daphne, and Velma in the Mystery Machine, which I hope that means they're making a Mystery Machine. JadaToys.com and Made in China print. That's where it says Made in China. I don't know what this number is. Maybe it's assortment number of some kind. I'm not sure. If you need it, there it is. And that, my friends, is a look at this pretty neat packaging. I didn't find any clues, though. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers to help us take a look at the accessories. And first up, well, I don't think we need the scissors for this. We have an open box of Scooby snacks. Nothing really on the, well, I say that. Maybe you can kind of see in there. It looks like melted chocolate on the inside, or maybe, I don't know, something else. But it's got nice tampo on the front and the back. And then it's got some tampos here on the side as well. So very nice. Very cartoon looking, like it should be. I don't want the realistic versions yet. Maybe at some point. And then here we have one single Scooby snack that I can't hold on to. So, you know, it's got a little bit of molded detail in it. I don't know how well that's showing up on the camera. But it does have a little bit of molded detail in it. But for the most part, it's just a chunk of stuff. A brownie of some sort, perhaps. He also comes with an extra set of hands, splayed out fingers, in and out hinges. And I have to say, for it to be based on the cartoon characters, it does have you know, the right amount of detail. So it's not super detailed. It's much more in a cartoon vein, but it has enough details to convey that, in my opinion. And there's two of those. They're exactly the same, except they're for opposite sides. And they're probably all molded in Shaggy's flesh tone there. It's a little bit shiny, but you know, it is plastic. You can tone that down a bit if you want to. And then here is the alternate head, which is the scared head. Ah, Scoob, save me! And I have to say, you know, again, it's not super detailed, but it's enough to convey that this is a cartoon character, a version of an action figure version of, you know, it's based on the cartoon. You can tell that, and that's what it's supposed to look. So there's nice paint for the eyebrows and the eyes, around the eyes, black line, and then white for the teeth, black for the inside of the mouth, red for the tongue, and then of course his signature little wiry hairs there on his chin. And I think this head does convey that scared look that Shaggy does get, and he's got that one little piece of hair standing up like Shaggy does. Although I want to say this is probably based on the more modern looks of the character rather than straight up 2D hand animation like Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And I'm sure that's going to hold through the entire line. Now let's take a look at the figure himself. And again, you know, the details through the figure are very simple, which again they should be, because it's conveying that, you know, cartoon character and all of that, which I don't know how many times I have to explain that. How many times I feel like I have to explain. I probably didn't have to explain it but once. I probably didn't have to explain it any. But, you know, it is what it is, I suppose. And again, nice, you know, same details, just a different look. And of course the mouth is closed on this head, but eyebrows, eyes, and then the line for the mouth, and the stubble or the wiry hairs there for the chin, the piece of hair sticking out. And in fact, these may be, I think the hair is a separate piece, and these are probably both the same hair piece. Although this one, nah, I don't know, this one seems a little bit different. So I could be mistaken. So, but nicely done. And I really like the way that it looks. Exaggeratedly long neck, because it's Shaggy. And then, you know, no real paint apps going on past the head. Everything's molded in color. It's simple, like the cartoon. Like most animated things, you know. They cut the details down to cut costs on animation. And, you know, same goes for action figures based on that. So let's take a look at his articulation real quick. And it looks like at the top of the head, it's a ball joint, just a straight ball joint, and then it's hinged here at the bottom. And so he can look up that high, he can look down that far, and he's got chicken neck, he's got waggle. He can do the full exorcist. Now the head turns up here at the ball. It does not turn down here. At least I couldn't get it to turn down there. And I'm not going to force it. It can stay just like it is. That's fine with me. Although, you know, having his head like do this on the neck with this joint pointed, you know, that would be kind of cool too. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it rotates. So I'm not going to force it. At the shoulder, 360 degrees of rotation, and he can raise his arm up that high, which at this angle looks like more than 90 degrees, but at the arm it's barely more than 90 degrees, so it's weird. And it almost feels like the sleeves are backwards, but they're not. So where the arm inserts into the sleeve, there's a 360 degree rotation there. Double hinged pinless elbow. and it gives you that much bend. Without the sleeve in the way, it would give you more. So let's see. So yeah, about that much is all the mold will give you, and it's pretty much all the way. So 360 degrees of rotation at the wrist, in and out hinge, and then in and out hinge on this side as well. It's a cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet. It's on a ball joint or half dumbbell. Gives you all kinds of hula. Lets him lean way back like that. Lets him lean forward pretty good as well. And then it does give you a slightly difficult 360 degrees worth of rotation. Now, this part of the shirt isn't overlaid. This part isn't. This part is. And it has a split in it on both sides, so it doesn't kind of impede the articulation. But also, as you can see, you know, his flesh tone is up under the shirt as well. So I think that's a nice touch. So at the hips, and no pull down, but it's on ball joints. And he gives you about the full splits, it looks like. Maybe slightly less. He kicks forward. Come on, Shaggy. He kicks forward about 90 degrees. Now, the overlay does impede that just a bit. The leg goes back that far, and that's as far as the mold lets it go. The overlay is not impeding that any at all. There's a cut here at the upper thigh. Gives you 360 degrees worth of rotation. Double hinged pinless knee. And it gives you that much bend, so really, really good. And then at the ankle, let's see, it rotates 360 degrees above the ankle. Ankle tilts down that far, tilts up that far. It probably would go a little further, but the pants are stopping it. And then he does have rocker there as well. So there you have it, my friends. A look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And I wasn't really sure what to compare Shaggy to since I didn't have any other Scooby-Doo stuff, but here we go. The Jada Toys Scooby-Doo Shaggy Rogers with the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Mighty Minotaur, and Boss Fight Studios Epic Hacks Barbarian Deathmonger. For our last set of comparisons, here we have Jada Toys Scooby-Doo Shaggy Rogers. We're from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on Jada Toys Scooby-Doo Shaggy Rogers, I have to say I've been wanting for a while to try out Jada's action figure lines. I've reviewed in the past their 1/32 scale Hollywood Rides die-cast vehicles, you know, for a while now on this channel. Like, you know, not every single release, but, you know, as it comes up, I'm sure you can go back and look for the appropriate playlists if you want to see those. But I've been wanting for a while, so ever since they started making action figures, to try them out. And, you know, Universal Monsters, it was almost a pickup for one or two of those, and for whatever reason I just didn't do it. And Street Fighter, while those figures look very, very impressive, Street Fighter is just not my jam. I'm much more of a Mortal Kombat guy than I ever was a Street Fighter fellow. So, you know, but that's not to knock it. If that's your thing, then hey, enjoy it. But it's just not my thing. So finally, they got the rights to do Scooby-Doo. And I guess maybe I could have picked up a cereal mascot or Chester Cheetah or, you know, something like that. But I just, for whatever reason, I didn't. But when the Scooby-Doo line came along at 1/12 scale, I'm very excited for this line. And so I decided, well, this is the time to give Jada's action figures a try. And I am not disappointed. I think the look that they gave this figure is kind of an all-around animated look. So it's not really specific to any one Scooby-Doo cartoon. It doesn't look like Scooby-Doo Where Are You 100%. It doesn't look like the New Adventures of Scooby-Doo, the Scooby-Doo movies, Saturday Scooby-Doo with Scrappy-Doo, and, you know, What's New Scooby-Doo. And it's more of an amalgamation of all of those looks. So it gives the character one single look for, you know, to kind of fit in everywhere. And I think it does a really good job of that. You can't look at this and go, well, I don't know who that is. You look at this and you know, hey, that's Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. You might not know his last name is Rogers, but you know that's Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. And, you know, I think they really did a good job with that. The deco on it, while minimal, you know, most everything is molded in the appropriate colored plastic. The face, or the faces being the only exception to that. And I think they did a really good job on that. He comes with a box of Scooby snacks, a loose Scooby snack, a couple extra hands, you know, scared hands, I guess, and the scared face sculpt. So, very appropriate. And I really like this figure. I cannot wait for them to release Scooby-Doo. And actually the rest of the game, we've got Daphne on slate now. They've showed off. I don't know if it's a production. It's probably not a production run, but maybe a pre-production model in color at some shows this year. So, you know, I'm excited for this line. Now, the ghosts and stuff, not as much maybe, and those may be things that I swing back around to later if I feel I need to. But I really want to get, you know, the Scooby Gang first. And I would really like to see Jada do a 1/12 scale Mystery Machine. And, you know, it doesn't have to be full of gizmos and gadgets and whatnot. It can, you know, have, you know, some additional pieces, or maybe even add-on packs for the vehicle later on to give it different looks from different eras of Scooby-Doo. But for the first one, you know, the main release, I would like just a regular original Mystery Machine without any bits, bops, and boops to it. It doesn't need any electronics. I don't need that. I just need something for my Scooby Gang to get to the mystery that they're going to solve in. That's what I need. And I hope Jada does get around to doing that. And I think if this line does well enough, I think they will do it. So keep that in mind. If you're if you're on the fence with this line, you're just not sure, I'm going to go ahead and say, you know, while not in it 100%, I'm definitely 100% in it for the Scooby Gang or Mystery Inc., whatever, you know, you want to call them. I guess it depends on what era of Scooby-Doo you grew up with. But I think Shaggy is a good first entry into the line. I don't know if I would have put Shaggy with two of the monsters in wave one. Personally, You know, I think we should have gotten in Wave 1, I think we should have gotten Scooby and Shaggy and then a monster as well. But I guess they're trying to put it out to at least 5 waves, maybe, is what they're doing. 3 figures per wave, 5 waves. 1 Scooby Gang member and 2 monsters for each wave. And again, like I said, I'm not really in it for the monsters or villains or whatever you want to call them in this line. That may be something I swing back around to. But I'm definitely 100% invested in getting the entire gang. And again, while I do wish Scooby-Doo had been available in Wave 1 with Shaggy, I can kind of understand why they didn't do that, because then, you know, if they're the rest of the gang doing 1 per wave, you know, well, why did we get 2 in the first one? We could be done with it a lot sooner. Well, yeah, I guess that's true too. But, you know, I just think in Wave 1, you put the title character, and Scooby-Doo is the title character of the franchise, and I would have personally put him in Wave 1. But that's just me. I don't run a toy company, and don't look at all the market statistics and this and that and the other. Whatever made them decide not to put Scoob in Wave 1, they didn't do it. But in the long run, I don't think it's going to hurt them, because we've already seen a physical Scooby-Doo, so we know he's getting ready to go into production, and pre-orders should be open early 2026 for that, and then I think later in 2026 for Daphne, and then maybe we'll get to see Fred and Velma later this year at a show. I really, really hope so, because I like at least this opening entry for me into this line. I like it. The price point, that's something else. I'm not really going to get into that. I mean, it's not a horrible price point, and you know, I'm sure they have to pay for the licensing with it, and I'm sure Scooby-Doo license is not cheap. But we'll just see how it goes. I'm ready for Scooby-Doo. Let's get him in here. Come on, Jada. Jump on it. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.